So welcome to the Sunday night chat or talk. Hi, Paul. Okay. Hi, Keel. So a few things. Yeah, I've got a webinar coming up next Saturday, the next coming Saturday. There are 3 places left. You can get in touch with me about that. Hi, Donnie. I'll be in London on the on the 10th and 11th of November. And what else? I have a 6-day event here in Spain. All this you can get on the internet. Yeah, if you want to. Hi, Anne. I also do one-to-one sessions, which are very different from this. Way more intense. And what else do I do? Yeah, there's books as well. My 2 books on my website. And this is a live talk where you can ask questions and interact with me. And this is how I'm able to afford to keep my website, my domain, and all that going. So contributions towards the talk are greatly received. And thank you for the few of you who did contribute towards it. Hi, Jim. Or if you'd like to make it easier on yourself, just become a patron on Patreon, and then you can just, you don't have to think about it every week. Hi, lovely. So yes, please contribute towards this talk. As I said on Facebook, freedom is free, but my internet bills on my website is not. Hi, other Paul. Okay, so hi, Stephen. This is the most rarest subject. I was going to go for one tangent, but I can see another tangent coming up. And people who are in this subject, it's kind of like it can become dull for them. But that's because they can't find the value in it for themselves. They can't find the answer in it because this body sitting here speaking has nothing to give to anybody. So the person can become really jaded with it, and it can become dull, and it can become intellectual, which is also dull. Yeah, it becomes blank, and people can get frustrated with it. But it is the rarest thing. It's the most wonderful thing, because what we're talking about here is everything that is being looked for. The one thing that you're looking for is what is apparently happening. And ironically, that includes the apparent appearance of a person who's looking for it. It's all appearing at once. It's all landing at once. It's utterly sublime, utterly ineffable, can't be got, can't be understood, can't be talked about, not really. Talking about it happens, but can't be said, can't be said. Because the one that arises, the one that appears called me, is just this sort of fluid appearance within it, but no different from anything else that's appearing in it. It might as well be a wall or a light, for all that it's worth in the idea of becoming free. I'm not saying that the person is worthless. Nothing's worthless. There's nothing here that's worthless. But there's nothing here that's meaningful in terms of freedom. Hi, Phyllis. But it's the most wonderful thing. There's nothing else. Because everything else that the person is seeking for is always an object. It's always an object. Even if that object is a fantasy idea of enlightenment or freedom. The idea of enlightenment or freedom is no different from the idea of having a new car. A new car is more achievable. But that won't last long. That sense of, oh yeah, now everything's better. Now it's better. I got the car. I can relax. My life's fulfilled. It won't last long. Maybe a week with a car. Once everyone's had a look at it and all the excitement's over. It's been on Facebook and whatever. Or the new couch. The new kid. Or whatever. Temporary relief. This is not about having temporary relief. This is an expression of life. Oh my God. I think that's a grasshopper rather than a cockroach. It's gone under the couch. Of all the nights, I mean, it's just my goddamn luck. Anyway, it's amazing how you can catch them out the corner of your eye, even though you're like looking straight at the green dot, and you can see this little movement. It's a grasshopper. Yeah, I think it is. It looks different from I haven't got that kind of repulsion value. No, the grasshoppers here are brown. It's not a cockroach because it's got it's got the funny big legs at the back. It's only an appearance, yeah. An appearance that makes this body go, ooh. Fact. I'm going to sit with my legs crossed in case it decides to crawl in my shoe. A cricket, yeah, it could be a cricket. Yeah, it's kind of got those big legs at the back, you know, that kind of stick out as cockroaches are just nasty, spirally legs. They got that more of a, yeah. Anyway. A cockroach that can jump. No, Paul, don't say that. They can fly. They can fly. I've been to Australia quite a lot. And they fly around your head there. They're pretty horrible. Anyway, I think I've said what I want to say. I'm open to answering questions or reading comments or whatever now. Hi, James. Don't mind crickets, but roaches? No, me neither. See, I can go up to a cricket or whatever, and I can put my glass over the top of it and a thing, and it'll leap about, you know, But it's not so bad. It's really funny because they look really alike, but one makes me good. One makes me like horrified, and the other one's a bit like, ooh, just a bit uncomfortable. It's like money. Yeah, I'd love some bags of money. Feel free to, you know. Anyway. Enough of exoskeletons. Yeah, me too. Disgusting. It's like first question of the day. Do you ever get bored, Lisa? No. No. Never get bored. When my daughter was little, she'd sometimes say to me, "Oh, Lisa, I'm bored." And I'd say, "Yeah." She's a bit cruel now I look back at it. I used to say, only the boring get bored. No, life is endlessly fascinating. Endlessly fascinating. It feels like there's so much, I can't get it all in. So much. So amazing. Only the me gets bored. Stories can be boring. Yeah, can't they? When they go on too long. It's like I have an aversion to long emails. I really don't like long emails. Send me 2 sentences. What do you do when you have nothing exciting going on? I don't even understand. Exciting. Let me just say this first. That this message, what I'm speaking about, has nothing to do with this body-mind. It seems like it does, you see. Seems like it does, but it doesn't. It doesn't. There's nobody speaking. There's nobody speaking. There's just words. There's just light. There's nobody speaking. There's nobody asking the question. Boredom is just, yes, it's an appearance from the me, but this all just the one symphony. But okay, like no electricity or anything. Don't know. Don't know. Sit about. Light a candle. Read if the Kindle's still got any power left. I like to read. I read a lot. Deep space. Hi, deep space. Excitement is a distraction from what is. Excitement is what is, if excitement is there. Everything is what is. Everything. Non-dual. Not two. One. Whatever is life expressing what is. Every time. Antonio, hola Lisa. Oh, velemo ficadebem. I don't know what that means. I hope that's relevant. Do you ever think about the past? The past is this. There is no past. The past is this. So if thoughts come up about, all that's left here in this brain are a bunch of funny stories no one ever lived. So yeah, thoughts come up about, memories, but memories of this. And this is not about Lisa. Lisa didn't wake up. Lisa never existed. Nobody ever existed. This is the Big Bang. This is it. This is it. You think I'm talking about something that happened to me? Nothing happened to me. Nothing happened. Nothing has ever happened. This is it. My eyes open for the thing. It's under my couch. It's kind of annoying because I can't get under there because it's massive. My couch is massive. You see, thinking that Lisa has something or has lost something or something happened to Lisa is very distracting. When the self dropped away, apparently, was there a feeling of sadness like losing someone? No, not at all. It was very clear that there was no one ever to lose, that no one ever was. Lisa never was. And the memory of that, which is this, it was an imaginary person. It was illusory. Whilst the whole thing was seeming to go on, the coming and going, the ups and downs, there was a sadness there, but it's just all part of a story. No, how can you be sad about losing something that was never there anyway? In that regard, everything is lost. Everything. Not even losing someone. Everything is lost. Everything. Yesterday, tomorrow. Everything. There's no sadness about that, though. Because there's nothing to lose in that way. But from the perspective of a person, it's the loss of everything. It's the loss of being born and dying. Having meaning. Nothing is lost. No, nothing is lost. Nothing is lost at all. That's right. There was nothing to lose. It was all just a dream of that it was real, that this life is real, as in it has a set timeline, that everything is in place, it's all packaged up neatly. My childhood, my teens, my adulthood, my future, my death, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my car, my enlightenment. All seems very solid and real and true. And because it feels true, and the person feels that it's true, then all the stories about it feel true because it's true to the person. It's true. In its dream, their reality, that illusory reality is true. That's why it worries and frets and neuroses and I've got to get, I've lost, I've got to get back, I've got to get here, there. All this stuff is true because there is true for it. That person is no longer appearing. There is nothing anywhere. Only as a functioning. Paul, the solid is moving. Yeah, it's like it's unfolding. Unfolding, unfolding, unfolding. Like these hands. But it's not in time. It's really amazing. It's actually the natural reality, for want of better words. It's the natural reality. This is how it is. Everything's moving and changing, but it's not going anywhere. Could say it's like it's remorphing or morphing all the time, but nothing's actually moving or going anywhere. It's really mysterious and fascinating. Turn this off. James, most people feel like they're a person doing things. Yes, yes. Well, the appearance of the person feels like it's a person doing things. Yes. Really, there aren't most people. Yeah, can't get that. Okay, I'm just gonna, let me just turn the other one off. Trying to get a cockroach on my feet, cricket on my feet. There aren't most people. You could say that within the apparent story of this appearance, this life. You could say most people are this or most people are that. Weather's crap in England, weather's good in, I don't know, Jamaica, whatever. Hi, ear monk. I see. So like you've got like this little face with an question mark as the ear, question ear. Hi, Nikolai. Lisa, can you say that you love your daughter more than other people? I mean, is there any difference between loving your daughter and someone else? Or is just love unpersonal? Well, yeah, I have a mother's love. Yeah. I love her more than anybody else in the world. You see, the idea of this sort of impersonal love is not about the human. See, the human thinks that when I'm free, I'm going to have unconditional love for everybody. Because this is a spiritual idea of unconditional love. Some people might have it. I don't know. But But that's not some sort of rule. Yeah, I definitely love my daughter more than anybody else in the world. Yeah. It's like someone put 100 people in front of me, and they said, choose 50 of them to die. My daughter would not be one of them. Yeah, it's not about being some sort of super spiritual guru who can love everybody unconditionally. It's already unconditional. This is already unconditional love, appearing as a mother's love. Stephen, notice that when you look at a stranger, there's no story associated with that person, but someone you are around more, there is a story, but really there is only what is always new. Yeah, it's always new. This is new. This is new. But you see, the human is the functioning human. Of course it'll attach stories to people. It'll say, well, there's that person, and I know their face, and there's things we can relate to because we have things in common, and I know things about them. That's just the way humans work. None of it matters. It's not about the appearance. It's not about this walking bag of blood and bones. It's not about that. See, most people think that freedom is to do with, it's always human-centric. It's not about the human. Ironically, it's not about the change in the human. Seems like it is, but it's not, because the appearance of a me is the freedom you're looking for, appearing as as me. It's really hard to explain that, but that's the way it is. Deep space. There is no other. There is no other. There are other human beings. There's no other me's, but there's other human beings. It's okay. Do you think your brain scan would be different from normal persons? I have no idea. You see, you're making this about this body. This body is no different from a tree or a flower. Deep space. In the dream. Yeah. Well, I don't know. In the dream? In the dream, there is other. In the dream of me, there is definitely other. When that dream is no longer appearing, there is no other. There's just what's happening. Nikolai, cool. She has a great mother. Oh, thanks. I have a great daughter. She's hilarious. Yeah, monk, without Lisa, there could be no knowing about what you are pointing to. With Lisa, there is a it's Lisa that was here who thought she knew that there could be something to be pointed to. All that can be said is it is recognized that the appearance of Lisa was not real. There was no Lisa. There was no separate individual living an individual life. in the illusion of time, who had a past, who has a future. Lisa is a thought. What, Lisa? Okay, I'm gonna like bring it back. Let's pull it back. There's just a body sitting in a room. You're never gonna get that. You're never gonna get it, because the one who wants to get it is part of the room. Yeah, well, Lisa is a thought. What, Lisa? Yeah, what, Lisa? Who the hell's Lisa? This body responds to that sound. That's it. That's it. Second, is the self-illusion purely psychological? Yeah. Yeah. I would say so. You know, when I've looked at it, you know, it's been a while now, but I've looked at it to try and remember what it was like. And I would say that, you know, I don't have any definitive answers to anything, but I would say that here I could put it down as being psychological, yeah. Of course, that psychological condition takes over the whole system. It feels utterly, utterly energetic. Psychosomatic misunderstanding. Yeah. It is. It's a total misunderstanding. It's a total condition. You could say it's a condition. The appearance of a person is a condition happening in the brain, and it's taken over the whole system. Deep space. Does talking about the me, that there is no me, give more energy to experiencing the me? No. I don't think so. Just talking about the idea that there is no me, give more energy to experiencing the me. I guess if there's a real deep seeking there, but this isn't giving anything to that. People can become desperate non-dual seekers, which is a bit of an irony, really. It can just it can actually expose it. It can expose the that it's just not real. Hi, Ramona. Oh, thanks. You too. Saket, how close do you think are the spiritual texts that are found all over the world regarding this? I haven't read many. And I've read a few Buddhist books way back in my early 20s, but they're so complicated. I kind of got the gist of it. What else have I read? Not a lot. A lot of it's just really complicated. Hi, Corey. And if sometimes people send me things to read, which, like, please don't. Please don't. Oh, I haven't got time for it or interest. You know, you read some of these things, it's just like so complicated and all about getting something and the higher this and the higher that and the low this and the low that. So I can't really say because I haven't read that much about it. I find it boring, actually. Nothing beats a good sci-fi. And anyway, it doesn't matter how much you read on spiritual texts, because it will be what is happening, and no one will get closer to what is happening, because what is happening is as close as anything is ever going to get, and it'll never get close to anyone, because anyone is what is happening. Joe says it exists by not existing. Oh, nice one, Joe. Oh. Oh, brilliant. I don't know whether I found that funny. It says, Flora. Hi, Flora. I don't know how to say that. Sin Sing Ming. Sin Sing Ming. Verses on the faith mine is an ancient text, simple and short. Yeah, there is some beautiful, yeah, Joe, there is some beautiful poetry. I mean, really beautiful poetry. I find poetry, ancient poetry, when it's sort of, when it's transcribed into modern English-ish, is more interesting than reading kind of scriptures. Short, simple verses. Yeah, totally, totally. Roomy. Yeah. Yeah, some of it kind of doesn't really, you know, float my boat. Saying property, blah, 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 question mark. Or should I say blah, blah? Oh. Saket, Rumi once said, it exists by not existing. Yeah, well, I like that sentence. I don't know why. I love things that don't make sense. And I love contradiction. I love paradox. Because in a sense it is paradoxical, isn't it? That The me that is looking for this is what is being looked for. I don't get that no one gets that there is no I. Okay. James makes 0 sense. Yeah, I know. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay. I don't get that no one. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you need to do you need to get that water is wet? Or is it really obvious it's wet? Do you need to get that a table is a table or a wall is a wall? That's how simple it is. You don't need the appearance of a person to understand or get that that's a wall. You don't need to get it. It's a wall. We call it a wall. Let's call it, I don't know, something else. Doesn't matter. You don't need to get it. It just is. So it just is that Lisa was never real. I don't need to get that. It's just bloody obvious. It's like you don't need to get that you're no longer a toddler or a teenager, unless you're a teenager, or a little child. You don't need to get that. It's obvious. If someone said to you, "What? How do you know you're not a little child anymore?" It's like, well, because it's obvious. It's like is a self like the weather, Lisa? It has many moving parts. It moves, but no one is in control. And one day when the clouds disperse, there's nothing less. Yes. Yes. It's very much like the weather. Just is. Then one day, it's just like a cloudy sky. There are clouds. Then suddenly there's no clouds. And in a way, it's like, big deal. Stephen, when there is only what is, there is no me. Yeah. Paul, I wonder if that's why I like David Lynch films. They make no sense. Yeah. That part in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where he whispers to Mr. Salt. Is it Mr. Salt? Yeah, Veruca Salt's father. He whispers, "A little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest men." And it's funny because when it's suddenly obvious that the clouds have parted, or there was no person, there never was clouds, there never was a person, it's like it just doesn't make sense, but it's just obvious. Nothing makes any sense. That's why the me is so floundering in this, because it's trying to make sense of it. There's no sense to be made of this. This is an explosion of nonsense. No sense. As in no cognitive sense. I don't mean like no sense like smelling and touching. No cognitive sense. Lovely. He said, if there is no person and no one exists, why it looks like the same fears, anxiety, conditioning arising in the body-mind. Anxieties? I'm not sure. They arise in the body, but there's nobody claiming them. Like if someone was banging on my door saying they were going to kill me with an axe, there would be a fear, a panic that arose in the body. So it looks the same. But when it's over, it's over. There's nobody that has claimed that fear. Said that's my fear and I'm going to make a big story and song and dance out of it. Just it's immediate. immediately comes and goes. Deep space. Ego has a beginning, middle, and end. Reality has none of those things. Yeah, it lives in that story. My beginning, my middle, and my end. Yeah, this has no beginning, no end, and no middle. Can't make sense of it. That's why when people it's suddenly clear to somebody, they laugh their heads off. Yeah. And it is quite funny. It is quite funny. No sign of the cricket. But it's sneaked somewhere where it's going to frighten me later. How is time perceived? Is it felt at all? No, not really, no. I mean, plans get made. You know, I have to put things on my calendar. Otherwise, I will definitely forget. So I have to like write everything down. No, it really is just what's apparently happening. That's really all I can describe it as. Which is the case, which is actually the case for everybody. Giggly tonight. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. It's always like this. See, the perception of time is what is happening. That's this appearing as a perception of time. But don't you feel the years passing by? Or would you just wake up one day and look in the mirror and wonder, how did I get so old so fast? Well, isn't it like that anyway? Really? I don't know, I guess. You can't perceive time, really. Deep space, you forgot your last appointment to talk about how there is no time. Yeah, I really do have to write everything down. If it's not written down, it doesn't happen. Hi, CDD. Seems like my particular me has been developed due to just being around my mother's bullheaded me, which is not shaken off this human yet. It's just how life appears. It's just how life appears. It's not because of anything. This table is not here because of anything. This body's sitting here not because of anything. The me appears in the human not because of anything. It's because life is doing it all. Nobody's in charge. Nobody's here. It's all life. Burgeoning life. James, any prescription, be careful, don't do this or that, etc. As if you could do something about it. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, CDD. Be careful, don't do this or that. Yeah, but that can happen between people. What can't it? You know, people have got to teach their kids, like, you know, not to hang over cliffs by their fingers, stuff like that. Also spiritual prescriptions. Yeah, spiritual prescriptions. Yeah, for sure. Joe, stop complaining. Yeah, I mean, you know, the kids have to be taught, don't they? Spiritual prescriptions are a waste of time. They're not going to get anywhere. Nothing goes anywhere. Nothing's going to get anywhere. Nothing goes anywhere because there's nowhere to go. This is it. Everything you've ever looked for has always been here. It's always here. Isn't it wonderful that there's nothing to get to? Just a big show, says James. Yeah, one big show. A big bang. Nicola, Lisa, do you talk to yourself in your head? I mean, sometimes like this, oh, I need to go and buy some milk, or maybe tomorrow, okay, tomorrow, etc. Feels like thoughts maintain. No, thoughts don't maintain sense of separation. The sense of separation and seeking maintain the sense of separation. I sing a lot in my head, and then it bursts out. Or I get artistic ideas. It's not about the thought. The thoughts are not a problem. Thoughts are not a problem. The brain is a wonderful machine, thinking machine. Yeah, like if, I might think I've got to go and buy some milk. Oh, I need to go and buy some milk. Yeah, why not? Yeah. It doesn't maintain separation. There is no separation. There's only in the dream of me is there a sense of separation. In the dream of me, it feels like separation. But there is no separation. See, the seeker puts it in two realms. There's no separation, and the separation over here is if that's separate from no separation. Well, you can't have both. The sense of no separation, the sense of separation is the no separation that you're looking for. Sometimes I create characters in my head, and they talking to each other. All right, like a sort of creative way. See, time does fly, and then you're 60. What the fuck? Seems like that, yeah. But this is actually eternal. It's just how it appears, like time has flown. But it's eternal. This is absolute. This is eternal. It's just in the dream of, what the fuck, I'm 60. No one is a body. No, there's just bodies. Each body has a character, no different from a dog or a cat. But there's no person in a dog or a cat. Just the character, cute face, or annoying habits, or whatever. James, it's my birthday Tuesday. Oh, happy birthday on Tuesday, James. And yeah, a bloody relief. No one has to build a life or have a career purpose direction. No getting better or worse. Yeah. And if there was, that would just all be happening on its own anyway. Okay, does anticipation and hope still arise? No. Hope. Hope. Hi, Prem. Okay, I'm gonna have to say it again, Saket. All there is what is apparently happening. All there is what apparently is what is. What happens is we get into this idea that it's different for her. It's different for him. It's this, and this, and this. Within the story, within the movie, sure. And Sunderland 60. No, I'm not 60. Not yet. Within the story, sure. You could say that. But it's meaningless. It's meaningless because what it does, it gives the person's gonna go, well, I want what she has. Or I want that what she doesn't have. But the me wants to know an absence of itself. And that's never gonna happen. It thinks it's great. It's great. It's gonna be great for me. Well, the whole dream of me is lost, serving everything with it. It's just raw life happening. Raw. Joe, hope is hopeless. Yeah. I'll be 64. Recall Beatles song. Yeah. Isn't that a dismal song? I do love the song. That bit when they say, we will scrimp and save. Oh, it's like that. Oh. It's just a sort of life that nobody wants to lead anymore, does it? Do they? Second, but the body wants relaxation and peace. That creates anticipation for something better, no? Yeah, it does, but it's searching for it. It thinks that, yeah, but it wants it for itself, you see. It wants it for itself. The body wants relaxation. Does the body want relaxation? Does it? The body doesn't want anything. The body just does what the body does. It doesn't have any wants, hopes, dreams. If you're talking about not the story. The body gets stressed from the wanting of relaxation and peace. Ironically, the body gets stressed from the neurosis of the me. That's what stresses the body out. Oh, look, everyone's saying happy birthday, James. Air and water. Okay, if there's any last things, I'm going to go. Unless anyone's got any last thing to say. Food, yeah, it just goes towards what it goes towards. It just does those things naturally. If it's hungry, it'll go towards food. Yeah, or wants a shelter, or wants to feel like it's not being threatened. Essentially, it's an animal and has the same needs as an animal. Oh, thanks, Paul. So if you've joined me tonight, and have enjoyed it, please drop a couple of coins in the pot on the way out of the door to contribute towards my time and my website and everything. That would be greatly appreciated. And I really enjoyed tonight. I've had a good laugh. Yeah, years of neurosis stress in the cells of the body. Yeah, it really stresses the body out. Ah, thanks, guys. Thanks, Saket. So, give me bags of money in spirit. Joe, next week. Yeah, I'll be here next week. Do you have a Visa card? I do. Oh, thanks, James. I do. But I don't think you can pay me on a Visa card. I do PayPal. If you want to donate to me any other way, just get in touch. Someone sent me some cash through the post last week. You know who you are. Thank you so much. And thank you for those who dropped some money in PayPal for last week as well. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, everybody. Too many names to read out. I will be here next week as usual. And I will see some of you on Wednesday for the Wednesday night chat. And lots of love. And adios.